Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be interviewing yet another couple who met online, met in the Philippines, and are now married living in the US for quite some time now. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, hello everyone. So today I have Brent and his wife Daneth, and she's from the Philippines, and they've been married 12 years now. So they are a success story, and they've been living here in the United States for, I guess, 12 years as well, right? About 12 years?
Mhm.
Okay.
She's been here 12 years. I've been here 54 years. So
54 years. Okay. So
Yes.
let's go ahead and get your backstory. How did you guys first meet? Did you meet online? Did you just fly out there? Or how did you guys meet?
Well, we first met at Filipina Heart, like the website Filipina Heart,
Uh-huh.
and we've been chatting like for 6 months, I think. Yeah.
it's about six and a half months. Yeah.
Yeah, 6.5 months, and then after chatting, he flew to the Philippines and met me and my family, and that's how it started. Like,
Wow.
you know,
And
and then I wanted to talk to
Oh, okay. I will.
what
You don't
Yeah.
want
was this your first time to the Philippines?
to. Yes, my first trip. Well, we met in online in early August of 2006,
6.
and chatted online for about six and a half months. My first trip over there was in early to mid February 2007.
Yeah.
And I
And
kind of did it strategically so that I would
mhm.
be over there for the week of Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Ah,
Just
Because
one
I got
week.
over there on the 12th, which was a Monday, and
Yeah.
then was only able to stay a week just because my work
sure.
schedule was
Mhm.
on.
And
Yeah.
so, Brent, what made you choose the Philippines? Is this something you were thinking about for a while, or how did that come about?
Um, Actually, it was kind of by accident. I got home from work one evening, was checking my emails, I guess through my Yahoo Mail account, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
a box popped up on one corner or another of the screen,
Yeah.
and said Filipino Heart, and I didn't know what it was until I clicked on the box to fill up the whole screen. Found out a few minutes later it was a dating site. So,
Ah,
Yeah.
um,
okay. So you guys chatted 6 months. You flew over there, and Daneth, where is your family from, or where are you from in the Philippines?
Ah, I'm from Mindanao in Misamis Oriental. It's like 3 hours from my city, Hingoog City. Yeah.
Like near Cagayan de Oro
Near
area?
Cagayan de Oro. It's like
it's
3 hours drive.
it's
Oh,
along the
okay.
northern coast. It's kind of between Cagayan de Oro and Butuan City.
Yeah.
You have the
Something.
ocean on the north side of her town, and
It's
then
like
mountains to the south.
it's like an hour from Butuan City. You know Butuan City?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
and Brent, when you researched where she lived, did you see some travel warnings and did you feel nervous, or you said no problem, I'll just go to Mindanao?
I really didn't hear anything about the travel warnings until I guess until after we had started chatting for a
Mm-hmm.
while.
And
But she had told me that most of the problem areas were down south towards Coronado City and Cotabato City. And,
Yeah,
right,
but I already told him that don't get scared about Mindanao because not all Mindanao are dangerous. My
yeah,
place is safe. There's no any terrorist attack or it's a religious small
yeah.
city. Yeah, so I told him don't worry about it. So if yours get scared, so I will meet you. Me and my family, we're gonna meet you in the airport. So you know
Hmm.
you're be safe. So something like that. So
she said I
Yeah.
would be safe in her parents' house. So.
yeah.
Locked away.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, so during
oh,
that time, so he's been there for a week, and then he flew back to the U.S. and
hmm,
then he flew back again on December, I think. Yeah, the same
okay,
year.
same here. So
Yeah,
you came,
my first trip. I'm sorry.
Oh, you came around Valentine's Day, and then the same year you came back in like December.
First
December.
week of December, yeah.
And then that time he proposed me.
It was toward the
Wow.
end of the visit, yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then
And can I ask what is your age gap?
I'm 38 years old now,
Mm-hmm.
and he is 54.
54, so about 16
54.
years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was when I met him for the first time, I was 24
Mm-hmm.
back then, and then he was 40. So it's something like okay, like
Yeah, but it
Back
was
then we were still 16 years apart, but I kind of felt back then like I was kind of robbing the cradle. But now that the
yeah.
numbers are up, it's not quite as bad. I
Hmm.
guess.
yeah, yeah. So you proposed, and then what was your plan? Was your plan to bring her back on like a fiance visa, do the paperwork and do a fiance visa, or to get
Ended up,
married there, or
yes, she came on K1 fiance visa.
Yeah,
and
fiancé
I
visa.
got back to the States mid-December and started the paperwork.
Yes,
And then she had her visa interview in Manila. When was it? In April?
I think April.
April of 2008. And then
Yeah,
I guess in May of 2008, got her passport with the visa attached, and she got over here third week of June of 2008.
yeah.
very good. And so
So
you
it's
you had a daughter in the Philippines, correct?
she's now here.
Uh, but I mean, when you guys met, you had a daughter already. Is that
Oh
correct?
yes.
And
Uh-huh.
so, is it difficult to do paperwork to bring her over as well? Did she come later, or how did that work?
Oh
When she came over by herself. Her daughter stayed with her parents,
Okay.
yes.
and she was over there an extra 2 years. She came over here in May of 2010. We had to file a separate petition.
Yeah, just because we talk about that I have to go there first so that we
Hmm.
have to have time to each other and
Sure.
to know each other because it's so hard if we bring my kid and you know you have
Yeah.
to adjust for
It.
he's gonna adjust for me and my daughter, so I think we talked. Did you remember you talked about bringing me first here because you want to know me better first, then
Plus, we wanted some alone time, right?
yeah, something
Before
like
bringing the kid in here,
uh-huh.
but
And then
she
after
eventually came over.
yeah, and then after 2 years we decided to bring my kid here.
And
So
so, was the process the same, or was it more difficult? Like, so you have a fiance visa to bring you. What about to bring your daughter? How difficult is that?
oh, there's nothing. No, there's no problem about getting my daughter here. The process was really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It wasn't that much more paperwork, and the time frame was
Mm-hmm.
about the same, I think, 6 to 7
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I think my daughter was faster. I think it took like 3 months or 4 months.
to process
The
everything?
process.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought it was longer maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Something like that.
So I think
Mm.
maybe you guys came at an easier time because from my understanding, people that I talk to now, the process takes like a year now sometimes. So
It might take
Yeah.
longer now. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know about now, but before it was easy. There's no problem about processing the papers, no, nothing. As
yeah.
in it was very smooth, like. Yeah.
Was it, Daneth, was it difficult to live in the United States at the beginning? Did you just really miss home, or how do you feel about it now? What's the difference?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. When I got here, the first thing was like the language barrier
sure.
because it's different like when Brent flew to the Philippines and met me for about a week, and
Hmm.
we're not really that, we're kind of estranged, but when I got here, like with the first thing that he talked to me a lot, and I'm like, what? Like, the number one problem is the language barrier, but then eventually I've learned to understand him, and he've learned to understand me too, because and
Yeah,
of course the culture, it made me like a homesick, something like that. Then a culture shock, because
Sure.
like for example, in the neighborhood here, it's so quiet compared to the Philippines. It's so noisy. When you wake up in the morning, it's really too noisy. Like, there's a rooster, but
Dogs and
over here, when you
karaoke.
woke up, like,
No farm animals here.
yeah. And then during that time when I got here, Brent, like, he went to work. Like, on the next day, he went to work. So
Huh?
I'm by myself. So it was so hard for me. Like, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, what I'm saying. So it's been a big adjustments for me. But later on, I've learned, like, eventually I
Yeah.
get to learn, you know.
And so,
Mhm.
did you become westernized a little bit? And when I say westernized, I mean, like, did you learn how to drive, and did you like maybe get a job later on?
Oh, you know what? I got my license like after uh 9 years being here.
After 9 years?
Is it
Wow.
9 years
It
or
took,
10 years? Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, it took a little
Because
while, but
because Brent, he
Hmm.
always telling me and his family that I need to drive, but me myself, I don't have any interest of driving.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's true. I don't have any interest of because I'm so scared. But
Sure.
then my friends, my family, and Brent convincing me, forcing me, you need to drive, you need to drive. How can you get to work? But then I got a job. But
Hmm.
good thing is the school, because I work in school
Hmm.
here, and good thing the school is close to our house. It's like a walking distance. But then when it rained, when there is snow, or when it gets cold, so I walk by myself, like I was freaking so cold. So that's why so that's why like I've realized that, oh, I think I'm ready to drive Brent, because it's so hard for me to walk by myself, and it's really cold, and so I after 10 years
but anyway, yeah, she
of
got her
being,
permit first and eventually got her license and
yeah.
actually bought a car.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
we each have our own vehicle.
Yeah,
I
so
think
now
I
I'm
think she was just
driving
hesitant. Think she was just afraid if that driving in Houston meant she automatically had to drive the freeway. She just didn't want to
yes,
drive the major freeways.
just the
yeah,
neighborhood only.
She
it,
drives just
Or
through the neighborhood to
inside.
get to school. She's okay with that. So
Yeah, to go to Walmart or the store, and that's it.
w-
Yeah.
what was the biggest difference for you? What was one of the hardest things you had to deal with? What's the difference between the Philippines and America? Is there something that you just really didn't like about America, or that you really missed about the Philippines, or?
Well, it's not like you don't like America. I like America, of course. I like
Mhm.
because I have my husband here. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I don't like it, but you can say that it has a big, what, how do you say this, like, big
mhm.
difference or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, number one is the culture, of course. And America is more like, it's really a developed country compared to the Philippines,
Sure.
yeah. And well,
Did
yeah, I miss Philippines, but sometimes, you know what, when we were there 2 years ago for a vacation and the wedding, it's like we've been staying there for a month.
hmm
And and it came to my mind that, oh, like, I want to go back to the US, because I think I miss my place. I don't know. I mean, I'm from the Philippines, but I don't know. Like, I had a feeling like, oh, I want to go back to. I don't know. Maybe I'm Americanized now, or I don't know.
yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, but then somehow,
you miss the air condition and the
the air
good
condition. Yeah,
internet and
oh yeah, that's
Hmm.
correct. Because when I was there, like, me and my daughter were like, "Oh, mommy, it's so hot here." Oh my God, my parents would say, "Oh my God, you're not Filipino." You're not an American because you need an
Yeah.
AC. Yeah, so something like that. Mhm.
Do you feel like you've kept your culture? Do you feel like you still are very Filipina?
Oh yeah, especially the rice, eating rice.
Still eats rice 3 times a day.
Sure.
I still eat Filipino food here because
Hmm.
I can't live without Filipino food 'cause it makes me,
What about Brent?
yeah.
Does Brent eat Filipino food?
Oh no, sometimes.
Once in a while. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't eat it every night, but
Yeah, he only eats adobo and that's it.
I,
Adobo or egg roll. Yeah.
she'll fix chicken adobo, pork adobo. She'll fix
Mm-hmm.
kini lao, which is a mixture
yeah.
Of vinegar
salmon,
and yeah.
lemons, cucumber slices, I believe, chopped
Yeah,
onion,
it's a raw
vinegar,
fish. Do you
vinegar for
know that
taste.
raw fish like a
Yes.
kinilaw?
I've
Yeah.
I've had that in General Santos, the
Oh.
tuna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah. And what about you? Have you become accustomed to like Western food, American food at all? Do you like any of it?
Um. Only only Mexican food.
Only Mexican
I
food.
don't.
Yeah.
Well, she's had Mexican food. She's had
Yeah,
pizza.
but sometimes pizza if I'm really hungry. So.
Uh, I think
Yeah.
I think the
So
whole world likes Mexican food.
yes. Uh huh.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty popular down in this part of the country. So
So
Yeah, but.
do you
Mm-hmm.
do you guys have future plans? A lot of married Filipinos and Western guys at some point think about moving back to the Philippines at retirement to live less expensively. Or what about you guys? Do you think you'll stay in America, or do you think you'll go back to the Philippines at some point?
we've talked about possibly retiring there, but not quite ready to make that move yet. We haven't really decided one way or the other,
Sure.
but we've talked about it.
Yeah, maybe you never know.
Yeah.
10 years from now.
Do you
Yeah.
If not sooner.
do you have a lot of Filipino friends where you live? Are there Filipinos
Yes.
living in there?
Uh-huh. Like 2 blocks
Uh huh.
from my house. I think she's a nurse, Filipino nurse, and she's from my town in the Philippines, same town.
Oh wow. Small
And
world.
it's small world and I also I have so many friends here, like a Filipino friends. Yeah. It's like more than 10.
Wow.
I think she knows more people than I do, probably.
Yes, I had so many. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
and do you still get together with them and have like karaoke
They,
parties or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
yes, actually, last week,
Yeah.
yeah, we had a get
About a week ago,
together.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
So
kind of they had a host kind of a going away party because they were
They were
going to be
leaving.
moving from Texas to Florida. So
Yeah.
we held
okay.
middle of last week. They held a kind of goodbye
Mm-hmm.
party. So
Yeah.
So you don't have to be too lonely of the Philippines. You don't have to miss it too much because you have some Filipinos living there. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
correct.
and
And yeah, and before we used to have like a TFC, but we cut it because since I started working, I don't have time watching TV. So I told Brent to cut my TFC.
but she still occasionally watches the Filipino movies and
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
she has access to that.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys said that you were before we started recording. You said you've been married 12 years now, and you went back to the Philippines and redid your tenure.
Yes.
What your ba-
It was kind of to celebrate our 10th anniversary of us getting married over here. We did that by having a wedding ceremony over there. And it was in
You went.
It was in
Yeah.
Cagayan de Oro, so that our family and parents could attend as well as be part of the wedding party.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Was
Yeah.
there's a big difference in cost in a wedding in Cagayan de Oro versus the United States, I'm sure.
Yes,
A
that's
little
true.
bit.
Yeah.
Although our wedding here was civil wedding.
Civil
Yeah.
wedding.
In the
Yeah.
court. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Mm-hmm.
most people do that for for when they come over on a K1. That's a very short period of time to plan a big wedding, and yeah.
It is not a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, when she got over here in June of '08, I think, yeah, we didn't get married till early to mid-September of '08, so we'd almost used up the full 90 days.
We
We were cutting it close.
No,
Yeah.
we got married do you remember Hurricane Ike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that the weekend we were supposed to be planning on having it done was the same weekend that Hurricane Ike hit
Yeah.
the upper Texas coast, because our wedding was really going to be in Houston.
Yes.
But we had, like everything else, they started closing stuff down, so we had to evacuate to where my mom lives, and we got married in her town.
In her
her
town,
city, so.
yeah.
Uh,
So I don't know. We just think to get married, like, we were not in a hurry to get married at that time.
Yeah.
Because we had to know each other first, like,
and
yeah.
you, so your daughter is now 16 years old, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
she'll be 17 November.
And
Yeah.
still no school there in Texas as well?
Not since spring break. Everything's been online. So
Oh, yeah.
they think
Mhm.
they're going to try to open it up in August. But
Yes. Uh-huh.
So here they wanted to do school online, but 83% of households don't have internet, so it's almost
Oh,
impossible.
I know that.
It'll live with that one,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, kind of.
It's so sad. Like,
It is.
nowadays, like, you don't have internet and you want to go to school, but, you don't have internet, you don't have laptop. So how can you know,
Right.
get on online class?
Life is very different. So
It's very different.
your
Yes.
daughter, she moved to the U.S. when she was 6. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
2 years
correct.
after you guys. And so at this point in her life, she's pretty much grew up in America for the last 10 years. So has she become, do you think she's probably more Americanized than she is Filipina at this point?
I think so. Yes, that's true.
Does she
I would think so.
does she still speak Visayan or Tagalog?
Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore.
But
Not very much, even
yeah.
here in the house.
In our house, I speak to her in Bisaya, but she speak to me in English. She can understand Bisaya, but she can't speak like the Bisaya, the full sentence of Bisaya. She can understand, but not speaking.
She'll ask her a question in English and then call
Right.
a reply.
Yeah.
Or you'll ask a question in Bisaya and then she'll reply in English.
Her accent is American right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so hard for me to understand her, like, because of her accent, and I'm like, oh my God, you're my daughter. How come I can't understand what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. I was going to ask you something else. Do you have any? I know some Filipinas that live in the U.S. and they're married, and they like to play matchmaker. Do you do that sometimes with Brent's friends? Do you say, "Oh, I know a good Filipina that I can introduce"? No. She doesn't.
No, because I asked Brent about it, and he said his coworker, he's not sure if they're married or single or something like that. But because I have so many friends in the Philippines asking me, oh, Danit, can I have, can you recommend me for American guy or something like that? And I said, well, I would like to do that, but Brent doesn't have a friend, like a single friend. But if there is a single friend and asking Brent, oh, Brent, do you have any friend, Danet's friend or something like that? I would. But if not, no. Because I'm so shy of asking that guy. Because when you're here, it's so embarrassing when you ask that guy, like, if he's single, and you're gonna ask him, like, oh, are you single? Like, it's kind of awkward, right? Like, but if someone asks me, oh, Danny, do you have a Filipino friends who are single? Oh, I would say yes, of course. But for me, like, I I'm really really shy asking that guy, like, like if he's single and he want to meet someone or something like that. So
Sure.
yeah.
One last
Mhm.
question for both of you, and then we've been going for a while, but I'll let both of you
Okay.
answer it. What is
Okay.
the biggest difficulty with two different cultures? Like, what was the most difficult thing you had to overcome, Brent, with her being different
Okay.
culture? Anything that was difficult, or not really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, other than languages being different, but she spoke pretty good English, in my opinion, when she got here. I mean, I was able to understand her. She keeps saying her English isn't very good, but
Yeah.
Well,
I'm generally able to understand what she says.
yeah, but I think yeah, every couple's a difficult,
Sure.
like the one that you're saying on your video, like a tampo. You know what it means, tampo, like a
Yeah.
sulking, or because sometimes Brett, he's a type of a guy, like he's not confronting of anything, like something like that. But we
Yeah.
as Filipina, if we are like how do you call this one? If we are mad or something like that, you know. So me myself, I always tell Brent, oh, I get mad. I don't like this. I don't like that, or something like that. But you know what? With Brent, he always say, "Okay, yes, okay." If I get tampo, it's tampo. If I get tampo, he's gonna say, "Oh, done it. Sorry," or something like that. And then, but if I if Brent get tampo of me, I'm always
I don't know if
I'm
that's ever
always
happened,
say,
but
like, either one of us would say, we don't go to bed like. Sometimes we get mad,
Yeah.
but we never have like a like something like, oh, we're gonna get a divorce or something.
Yeah.
Something like, no,
fortunately, we haven't been
never.
there
Like,
yet. So.
we had arguments, but
Sure.
we
Well,
but
you.
later on we talk about it, and then we'll get,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And and I think
I'm
that's
never.
normal for anybody, right? Regardless of
Yes,
culture.
it's
Yeah.
normal.
So
Sure.
Yeah,
it sounds like you
cause
guys have a really good relationship and you guys are very happy. So it's great to hear success stories because a lot of Western guys are worried. They worry that they bring their Filipina girl back home, and they worry that
yes,
she's going to become so Americanized and so very different um, that she will lose what he found attractive in her, maybe, you,
oh,
Yeah.
her Filipina
yeah.
culture. So yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's up to them, but if you will know that the real, something like, if you know that person,
Mhm.
and you will like something like, you get to know her, and even though you have differences, but if you love each other, you know you can be, a successful couple, like,
Yeah,
Ye, that's what his mom said. His mom said, you have to be a compromise to each other,
that's right.
like, so, because honestly, he's not my husband, Brent. He's not the type of a guy like always arguing with me, because he said, oh, damn it, I don't want I don't want any arguments. I don't really like, so me, of course, I can adjust it to myself. Okay, because I because when I met him, I was really young, like my mind is not that, matured enough. So,
Sure.
but when I'm, how do you call this one, when I get to use it with him, or something like, when I like, or maybe because we're living together and we know each other and we adjust each other, and you will learn, you get matured, you get thinking, and you
Hmm.
will say, I think I know how to handle this kind of situation, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are not really perfect couple. because sometimes we argue, sometimes, yeah, but then we make it up after arguments or
Well, when she got over here and got married, we knew we knew there were going to be two different cultures meshing.
Mhm.
But a lot of the secret is respecting each other's culture, allowing us to have our own
Yeah.
culture.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, I wish
Yeah.
you guys all the success in the world, and I really appreciate you guys coming on and doing this video. So, guys, thank you so much, and